I am confusion. The state of confusion is me. There's so many characters.
I feel like whatever, my hair heartbroken.
Now I look like a fool, so thanks for that. 100 pages in. Someone already got theirs. I'm not mad about it. Look what is here. I am super excited. This is a very big package because it's all the books. I actually got in Books to Door for 20 quid if anyone's interested in making a purchase. I love sharing a good bargain. You know what I mean? Like, is there anything better than a bargain? No. Let's open this bad boy up. Okay, it's very full. Here we go, the whole Malice trilogy, if you can see it. I am so excited. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be really awesome. About 80 pages in, and no, 90, and I am confusion. The state of confusion is me. There's so many characters. So many characters. 20. Okay, I am now 117 pages into Malice, and I thought I probably should come and share some thoughts. So far, it's just so much. It's just so much. So I thought there were two main characters, right? So I was like, let me get two colors. So one of them will be blue, one of them will be purple, and if something important happens to them, I'm gonna tab it so I remember. And then I realized there's like 5, 7, whatever more main characters, and I was like, we're gonna need a bigger tab. I don't know if that joke landed with anyone, but well. Yeah, so far, so many characters, just so many, so much happening. I don't know who's who. I just recently kind of came to realization that there's a lot of countries in this one continent. So if you have a look at the map, if you can even see that, it's just basically all freaking, like, all of these big names, I think, are its own countries. Each of them has a king, and then there's a high king that rules all the kings, but only in name. And at first I was like, why does everyone have a different king? Why are all these kings just leaving with these people, not in, like, their own village? But I think it's more like, you know, maybe in like Norse cultures or like ancient cultures, when there was a king for every like so many people, and it was a little bit more centralized, if that makes sense. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, but I'm not disliking the book. I'm liking it, but it's definitely a lot happening, a lot of names, a lot of just like kind of, it feels a bit info dumpy, but at the same time I know nothing, so they didn't really dump any info. It's just like this weird magical thing, like prophecy or something will happen out of nowhere, and you're like, so that's my thoughts so far. I don't know what the plot of this book is. We have a bunch of kingdoms, each of them's doing something else, and now they're facing giants again. Giants used to rule the world, and they had a big battle. They're facing them again, and now they're like, let's get back together and like see what we can do about this threat. I'm having fun while I'm reading it, but at the same time, like, I have to be really focused. And the freaking writing, bro, it's tiny. I was trying to read from like afar, and I was like, well, excuse me, I can't read you, sir. So yeah, that's my thoughts and feelings. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I gotta read this in like 2 weeks. Hopefully I can. I've set myself a 40-page reading goal each day. That way I can very slowly, comfortably work my way through it. Because I don't think I want to read that much of this in one go. That sounds kind of scary. It is so hot. England's like, our summer is gonna be 2 days long, but it's gonna be super freaking hot and it's gonna be unpleasant. So it's either rain or 30 degrees, so we're taking the 30 degrees. I'm around 250 pages in, and I feel like I'm getting the gist, you know, like I'm getting it a little bit. I wouldn't say I know what's happening, like that's bold and presumptuous, but like I know the gist. It's still a bit complicated, but there was a big like gathering of kings, and then all like, we need to fight giants, so that's cool. There's so many characters. And it took me quite a long time to even figure out the two of them live in the same place and know each other. Yeah, so it's a little bit like Game of Thrones without all the sex. And I'm not complaining, you know, sometimes you just want to read something that's like pleasant and stuff. So yeah, that's that. And I'm enjoying the whole Game of Thrones thing, and I mean, it's a very complex world, very high fantasy. We have different people, and kind of the way the multi-POV thing works kind of reminds me of Game of Thrones, because like, yeah, at first you don't know who any of these people are, but then eventually you kind of get it. You're like, I feel like I'm getting something here, and like, it's the same here, and probably by book 4 I'll be like, oh yes, this Sansa character, I'm so invested in you, whatever. I mean, I like Corbin, I think that's his name. I like him, he's cute. It took me a long time to figure out his age, because I thought he was like 12, but then they talked about him like he was like 17, and then they clarified that he's 13 turning 14 in the book. So I was like, okay, now his behavior makes sense, because he seemed so immature for a 17-year-old, but now it's making sense. It's all clicking, you know. So far I am enjoying that. I love there was some Game of Thrones-esque thing happening with a certain wolf, which I really am a fan of. I kind of pushed through my confusion because I was like, I know this model and I know it can work, so like, eventually it must go somewhere, you know what I mean? It must happen for something. So that's my thoughts. I literally just feel like I sat here for 3 minutes and said nothing. If they hurt Storm, the wolf, in any way, shape or form, I will burn this book down. I will write letters of complaint. I will cry. I will storm. She's too precious. Do not hurt her. I'm scared. I don't want to finish this book because I'm too scared, but I want to, but I can't. But okay, I finished Malice and it was so good. I couldn't put it down. There was just a point where I started reading and just couldn't put it down. It was so good. I loved how fast-paced and high stakes and anxiety inducing it was. It was really, really, really well done. I did have a lot of things to text you about, but it's been like 4 days, so it might be a bit hard. I'm scared for the live show. I feel like I'll forget everything. I need to write down some notes. I really enjoyed this. I think it was really an interesting read and very interesting first entry. Definitely reminds me of Game of Thrones, I think, in the themes, in the characters, in how it's all progressing. But there were some other things that I really enjoyed about it that maybe weren't so present in Game of Thrones, I don't know, but for example, I really liked how masculinity and fatherhood was portrayed, because definitely there was some toxicity going on. But overall, considering how this is by a male author, for male audience, I assume so, about like Viking-esque or whatever, medieval warriors, there was a lot of really good father figures, really caring father figures, and some of the men were really like nuanced. I actually think there was so much nuance in the breadth of characters that we have. So many of them that had different roles and characters and personalities and motives, and all of that was fascinating. I wish I could say the same for female characters. So considering that when I read his newest book, which was Shadow of the Gods, I praised it for how nuanced and interesting the female characters were. Could not say the same about this. There is some female characters, like there's Corbin's mother and sister, and like both of them are quite interesting and definitely like non-conventional, but there's no other POV. There's only Saiwen, the sister, that's a female POV. There's this one group of warriors that actually has female warriors, and it's considered to be so scandalous and stuff, and I enjoyed how in Shadow of the Gods that wasn't the case. I mean, I'm not saying they have to do the same thing for every single one of your books, especially since this was his earlier work, so this was his debut, and then Shadow of the Gods is his newest book. So obviously maybe there was some lessons taken away or just some different choices made, but I definitely was missing a little bit of that. I was like, yeah, I'm reading about all these really complex male characters. I wish there was like more than one female character to latch onto. So not necessarily a deadly criticism, but something I've noticed personally. So there was like good with the bad. They're very complex characters, but they're all male. But yeah, I really liked how it kind of subverts some expectations, some genres. I did kind of expect the plot twist, but like at the same time, I think it's because I was expecting, like I was thinking that's how stories work, but in itself it was very interesting, and yeah, interesting. I'm really looking forward to where that goes. I think it's been developed so well so far, so I'm really looking forward. Yeah, the whole thing was very, very well done. I'm super excited for the second book. I'm really, really, really excited for the live show. I am a bit worried that I'm not gonna be able to talk to them about the book very much, I don't remember anything about it. Overall though, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars, which I'm shocked. I thought it'd be more like a 4 or something, but no, I really, really, really enjoyed this book. Especially the last couple bits. I just thought it was done so well. It was just so good. Hello. This is not how I thought I'd be welcoming you into book 2. But we are now, what, like 20th? I'm 44 pages in, and I realized I have 6 days to read this, preferably 5, but let's be realistic. I have to read 100 pages a day. I love the book, but like, I don't have time, or I do, but then I go to the gym and then I sleep. I don't know. Who am I? Who am I? We're gonna try. We're gonna try. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm reading, and it's so readable. I remember last book I read so quickly, like the last little bit. So, may the force with me, blah, 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 may the force be with me. Forgive my disheveled state. I just came back from the gym. But I thought we might chat about Valor. So I am now 200 pages in. So I'm 50 pages away from today's goal. It's so nice because yesterday I felt like I was struggling a little bit. So I was reading from page 40 to like 150. And I was like, can I get through it, please? But today it just feels different because I think once you get past that 100, 150 mark, it just got, I don't know, addicting again. And I really love the story, and I love how it's funny. And those moments of humor just add so much. And I don't know, it feels like a breath of fresh air. There is like a bajillion characters, and I am a bit confused with most of them. And I have to go back to the glossary like every time there's a new chapter. But I'm getting there. Slowly but surely I'm understanding more. And I love this book so much. So yeah, 200 pages, 50 to go. What, 5 days to go now. Ooh, I thought it'd be better lighting. Oh, that's not bad. Well, hello, welcome. I am getting ready to go out, so I thought I'd chat to you. So, like, I don't really know if this vlog was spoiler or not spoiler. Listen, if you want to come for, like, quality, normally it's me, but today it's definitely not me. Is it even normally me? I don't know. Yeah, but I think we're gonna talk spoilers, but I'm not gonna explain the whole thing to you. Look, I just can't be bothered. So I'm just gonna say something and you're gonna be like, cool. Alright. How did Camlin, I think it is, become like my favorite character? Because he's this like, he used to be this robber, like, you know, like he would rob people in the woods. So he was like a bandit, but then he turned sides because he was like, yeah, I ain't killing children. He was like, I'm not killing kids and women. And then basically they were like, okay, but now you kill kids and women. And he was like, nah, I'm doing that. So he quit. And he switched to Corbin's side. And basically now we're hanging out, like Corbin, him, they're running away in the woods. That's the basic thingy. And he became my favorite character. He's just so adorable. Every time there's a perspective that he's like, his perspective, it's just so touching. Because he's just like, why am I here? Why am I hating these people? I'm gonna die. But then at the same time, he's like, yeah, but they're like, first time I have friends, not co-workers. And like, I love them. And I would not. And then when they're cute and he's just there smiling, like, he doesn't give a fuck, he just wants some friends. And like, if that ain't the most relatable, I don't know what is. So you're just like, yeah, I might die, but like also I might not, and like also I'm making friends, so it's all okay. That's basically his vibe. So I love him, and overall all the men in this book are just too cute. All of them so freaking loyal, all of them like finding friends and stuff. It's adorable. I don't know why, but I find it adorable. It's just how much like Gar cares about Corbin, or Markin cares about Castle. Like, just so adorable, and I love him. And seeing that kind of bond is awesome, especially in like a fantasy series where it's all men, and it's really cool. And actually a big complaint I had in the first book, I was like, okay, but where are all the cool female characters at? Because his other book, which admittedly is newer, had so many good female characters, and it was in such a like a many Viking fighting book, but I had the most amazing characters with the females. So I was like super hyped for these ones, and there was none. But I do think that this book has more, and also they're like more important, so I'm all for it and I'm sold. So that's really adorable. That's definitely something I keep thinking that I want to bring up, but for the life of me I can't remember what it was. But I'm really enjoying it. It's just so fast paced. It's funny to me how Corbin is, I used to think of him as the main character. Now it's such an ensemble. Like he's important, but we barely hear from him. Like most of the I think actually Cameron had more chapters than Corbin, which is surprising. I'm not complaining because like I like majority of the other characters as well, but there are so many perspectives, and some of them are so random. They'll literally be twice in the book. And it's not even one of those, ooh, a mysterious like dark magician somewhere is like doing something, let me have like one chapter from his perspective. Not really. It's like people we meet up and they're in the story, but we only get one or two perspectives from them. So it's just like so freaking random. And I might be crazy over here, but I'm thinking Siwen and Vesemir, is it? Ves something. You know, the Natahir's boy. I mean, I'd totally be up for a Natahir, Vesemir, or whatever his name is, little romance, but I don't think we're gonna get a gay romance in this book. So I'm feeling I'm feeling like it's being set up. I don't know how I feel about it. I guess she could take him to the side of the light and make him help Corbin, because like he's generally not a bad person, and he's not even like ambitious or anything. He's just literally, or like greedy, none of those characteristics. He's literally just like following Natahir, or whatever you say his name. I feel like Natahir, yeah, he thinks he's like the harbinger of good, but like he's just doing it. Maybe that's how it started, but he's now just doing it to like set his own agenda and become more powerful and crap. But like not Vesemir, like I don't feel like he's actually greedy or anything like that, and he's not doing it out of hubris or anything like that. He's just doing it because he wants to be a good friend, and like if you just chose wrong, it's okay, it happens to all of us. I'm taking a little kitsy something. Am I crazy? Maybe, we'll see. Here we are again. I love these bits of romances, and I'm just like flying through it. I don't even have time to read it, but like I'm doing it anyway, and it's awesome. Listen. I don't need romance in my books, but also yes I do, and it makes it so much better. So it's like, this is like a fine dish, right? It's hearty, it's like soup, but like really good soup, and it's awesome. But then when you put a little bit of romance executed well, it just like spices the whole thing up, and all the flavors are just giving, and I'm just so happy. I do read a lot of fantasy with romance being prevalent, and I'm enjoying how this is just like a tiny little sprinkle, just a little bit. It's like chili powder, you know, you can't go too much. It's just like a little tiny bit, and it just makes the dish pop. That's how I feel about this, and I'm enjoying it so much. It's such a good book. The other one's in my other house, so I don't have time to read it anywhere, but I want to read it so bad. I am on page 443. So I only have this bit left. Which I think is still about 200 pages. But the live show's in 3 days. Well, on the third day, the live show's happening. So I have 3 days to read this much. I've not reached my daily goal yet. And we have a party today. And we have a party tomorrow.
and I'm going out on Sunday. So I don't know, not going out, but I'm going to Kew Gardens. Considering how little time I've had, I think I've been doing my best, but thoughts and prayers will be appreciated. When you watch this will be like months after I've read this anyway, so you don't care. I feel like whatever, my hair heartbroken.
Hello, I finished Valor. Yay! I did it with 1 day to spare, which was pretty cool. So I finished it on Saturday, and the live show was on Sunday. It went really well. We had a lot of time talking about it. It was really good to get it all off my chest. So if you want to check it out, do. But overall, the book was amazing. I gave it 4.5 stars. I don't think there was anything that could have been improved. It's just that I gave myself way too little time to finish it, and I couldn't fully enjoy it because of that. So I'm gonna start Ruin as soon as I finish Eye of the World, and like really take my time with it, enjoy it. I don't know, maybe set a goal for like 50 pages a day or something, or like 20, just to like get it slowly and naturally like I did with the first book, because I really enjoyed that and I had such a great time, like not thinking about needing to finish it, but like needing to finish it because it was good. So I'm very, very, very happy that I done that in time. The live show was amazing. I definitely think the strongest part of John Gwynne's books, especially in the Faithful and the Fallen series, is the character work. I mean, the most amazing character development, the most complex characters, they just make you care so freaking much, and you're just there like, I care about you to an extent where it's weird because you're fictional. And it was like every character that I was supposed to care about, I cared about so much. And every character that I was supposed to hate, I hated so much. Like Lycus can go to hell and freaking die. I hope he is disempowered. What he did to Fidel was not okay. Sasha mentioned in a live show that this book was a bit darker, and I agree. I mean, there was definitely like the fighting pits, very grim, very dark, very disturbing, and Fidel and the rape. It was not explicit, so if you're not into that, you don't need, it's fine. But it was implied, and the implications were horrific, basically. I know I'm kind of spoiling it to you, but even if you didn't read it, I feel like this is just the kind of book that if you know what's happening, it's fine. It's not about what's happening, or to an extent it is, but it's more about like the characters and how you feel and how it goes about. Like I could tell you like 3 plot points from the book, but there's so much to discover and just so much to enjoy. So I don't think that will impede your enjoyment of the book at all. Amazing book, can't wait for Ruin, so good. If you want to check out the live show, I will link it down up above. But yeah, oh my god, such a good book. This is such a good series. Hanan, great shout for saying we read this, because it was not on my radar almost at all. Now that I'm 300 pages into this bad boy, I guess it's time for us to have a chat. So, 300 pages into Ruin, and so far it's really good. Like, this book just reads so nicely, and it's just a good time. It wasn't as slow as the second book, or not, maybe not slow, I don't know. The second book, like the first 100 pages took me ages to get into. This one didn't. It's just so long. Like, I've been reading it and I'm still not even halfway through. And I have 7 days to read this, so I told myself I wouldn't rush, and now I have to do 60 pages a day again. It's good, I am enjoying it, and like, I get really invested, like, you know, in the characters, because I think the author does such a good job. But I'm a bit confused, like, why did we basically exchange the whole cast? I feel like everyone who was important in book 1 is like, they each got like 1% of this book, and it's just like characters that we met in book 2 or didn't even have a POV in book 1. All of a sudden they're the main characters, and it's like, cool, but I'm really invested in Corbin and like Sai Wen and like Veridis. I want to know what's up with Veridis, and we've not heard from him more than like once in this whole book. Where is he? And like, I feel like they're setting up for
some really important things that need to happen, but you need to sell it to me. And you're not selling the thing that I'm thinking was gonna happen. And like Nata here, why am I not hearing from Nata here? Something super important happened in the last book. I've not heard of him. Radio sirens, nothing. It wasn't annoying me when I was reading, but now thinking about him, like, why? Like, I still care about these people, I guess, like, what's his name, McKean and Fidel. Like, I like him, and I like him, I like hearing from him, but like, ooh, they're not the main characters. I don't know, it's just a little slightly like, why? And then Hannah read ahead and finished this book, and she was like, I hated every second of it. I assume because of the pain that's gonna come to me. So I'm scared. I don't know how to talk to you about this because it's book 3 and I'm not telling you spoilers very much. I don't know any of these people, or I do, I guess, but I just miss the old people. Yeah, that's the issue. Like, I like these characters and I care about them, but I also care about Corbin, I care about Cywin, Coraline, or whatever how you say her name. I care about Veridis, and why am I never hearing from them ever again? I'm curious to see what the girls think during the live show, because I've got some pretty strong opinions. After all of that, the next chapter I pick up is Corbin's point of view. And the chapter after that is Veridis. Now I look like a fool, so thanks for that.
Little chicken. I don't know if I like it. It kind of dawned on me that this book is just walking places, finding armies, fighting. One side wins, we lick our wounds, we walk a little bit more, we find another army, we fight the army, one side wins, we lick our wounds. Yeah, it does sound repetitive, doesn't it? It's the whole freaking book. Like, I don't know, I was so I loved Malice, but it was so much less fighting. There were other things happening in this bloody book that were not fighting, and this one's just literally just fight scene after fight scene after fight scene, and it's just like, can we move on? So it's a bit frustrating. I feel like Valor already, I was just reading it to read it. No, Valor I still enjoyed, and I think that was still when I had this false belief that the author could maybe pull off a romance as well. Like, listen, this book is not where I come for my romance dosage, okay? I understand that. That's not what this book is for, and I completely understand that. And I can even empathize, but if you're gonna dangle a romance, at least do it well. You know what I mean? It's just like so frustrating. These people are supposed to be like having feelings for each other, but they literally don't talk at all. And I need talking. That's the kind of lover I am. At least in the books, I need to believe that they're freaking connected at some kind of emotional level of capacity. I don't know, but it's just a little bit too much. And it's just frustrating me because I feel like this romance, like, feels so forced, but there's also nothing else that's going for this book there's nothing else in this book that's not either very poorly executed romantic tension or fight scenes. And it's just like a fight scene after fight scene, like bloody hell, we don't even like that. I think that's part of the issue where I was so angry about the not being with characters, because we don't really talk anymore. They don't talk to each other, they don't bond, they don't have great times, they just fight all the time, and it's so boring. And I'm just like, I started skimming fight scenes, but you can't skim these fight scenes because they're really important what's happening, and that's basically everything that's happening. Someone died that was really important, and I didn't even clock it because I skimmed it, and then when they were like proper dead, I was like, oh, and that just takes away the emotional investment I should have. I don't know, I'm just a bit frustrated. I don't know if he was in a bad mood, because it comes and goes. Like, one time, like, I'm reading and I'm really enjoying it and having a good time, then like 2 minutes later I'll be like, yeah, I hate this book, it's so freaking slow and boring, and it's just the same thing over and over again. So I keep like flopping between these two, and I don't know, it's just a bit like,
I wish there was some like political intrigue. I don't know. This Game of Thrones, I feel like, has some other things than just fighting. At least we're going places and talking to each other. They don't even talk when they go places. It's just so frustrating. They're just like, oh yeah, for 3 months we traveled to this place and now fight scene. Like, I don't even get to be with you when you travel, so that maybe I can see you bonding with other people. It's frustrating and it's getting to me. And I just wish there was a bit more to it. That's all. I don't know what the last book will be like. Maybe this is some kind of middle book syndrome, where we need to have a bazillion fight scenes. I don't know. But so far, I'm very meh about it. I'm thinking 3 stars. Like, it didn't do anything to convince me that it's not. But maybe the ending will. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so far... Okay, hello vlog people. You probably would have seen this by the time this vlog comes out, but like, what do you think about my new setup? Is it nice? Is it not nice? Do we want to film in front of the curtain? I don't think we want to film on the curtain. I prefer this so much more. It makes me so much happy. So much happier. So I'm excited about this. As for Ruin. This book is trying me. It really is trying me. Oh my god, it's just like the same thing over and over. I was talking to Hanan yesterday and realized nothing happens in this book. The characters go back to square one. If this book didn't exist, probably we could summarize it in like 1 chapter in rough and we would have been sorted. So I'm a bit angry because it's put me through a lot and I'm still not finished with it, but I just wanted to say I'm angry. I'm thinking about giving it 2 stars, so we'll see where we go. Today we're painting because I just finished Ruin and I need to channel my anger into something. I don't know what to tell you. Listen, that was definitely the best part of the whole book, like the last 200 pages, because we actually got some interesting stuff happening, not just bloody people fighting for every other chapter, so that's nice. Right, I didn't hate the ending. I am a bit annoyed because it's like, why should I care about these people if I'm just gonna be hurt over and over again? So there's that. It was heartbreaking, it was frustrating. It was not even heartbreaking as much. Well, I almost cried, but that's not the point. It was not even as much it being heartbreaking as it being so frustrating. Because you're like, these people go through shit 3 books straight. And I'm sure 4th book will be no different. But how am I supposed to believe these people actually win? And there was a big plot twist. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not shocked, but I'm also not shocked. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the kind of thing for this book to pull out. And I like what it does. I really enjoy prophecies. And I really enjoy discussions of how these prophecies will come to pass. And I think it's something I was thinking when I was reading the book, where it was like, it feels like Corbin, like, he's not really done anything to become a leader. Not in the sense that he does, like, he is a good leader. That's the thing, like, he's a very good leader. But he's not really done, like, a big act of heroism, or he's not actually put all these people together organically and then become a leader. He was told he's supposed to be a leader, and then he became a leader, and then he got people together and inspired them. And not in a way that it's bad, it's just, like, super interesting, because, like, I feel like normally with Chosen One stories, that's kind of what it is. And I am super, super curious because with this plot twist, I'm just like, how did we get here? You know? How did we get why Corbin, basically? But anyway, I did enjoy the book. See, the parts of this book were 4 stars, maybe even 10% was maybe even Touch and Glory of 5 stars. Then I would say 30% was a 4 star. 20%, well, I don't even know if this adds up, but 20%, let's call it, was like a 3 star, and the remaining was like a 2 star. So I'm very conflicted. So I'm gonna give it a 3 star, I think. So what we've experienced with this book series is every book going down a star, and I don't know how I feel about that. Definitely enjoyed Malice the most. I think that was the best book in terms of like how it was structured, the interesting aspects of it, the character work. But it still worked in Valor, but Ruin, I don't know, it kind of lost me, I'm not gonna lie to you. But it wasn't terrible.
it was a 2-star, like it was touch and go there. So I have 4 weeks. So I'm gonna take 1 week break so I don't have to think about this bloody series and just like read something else because I'm starting to get really frustrated, don't want to read. And then I'm gonna I'm gonna give myself 3 weeks to finish Wrath. I'm gonna divide the pages per day, and that's gonna be my minimum because that's pretty much the only way I could get through this book. And I actually really like setting up goals and then like reading page limits and all of that. So we're gonna do that and we'll see how it goes. There's not much I wanted to talk to you about otherwise than that, but I did. Let me show you my painting. So Hannah came over the other day and she got us painting. Paint by numbers, and this is mine. So it's paint by numbers, and you just fill in the little numbers, and these bad boys tell you what up, and you fill it up. And I feel like it's looking pretty good. I really like this neon pink I put on me recently. So this is hours and hours and hours of work, which I did not expect. But so far so good. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah. Thanks, Hanan. Well, hello. I finally started Wrath. Oh, I shouldn't say it like that. Finally. I still have almost 2.5 weeks to read this. So we're doing great. And this bad boy, I'm already 100 pages into it. And I'm having a way better time, I must say. I don't know, it's less just fighting, but it feels like we're fighting for a purpose now. And there was just a really cool scene, like series of scenes I'm very happy about. It's just a lot of good things are happening. Finally, some people are getting their comeuppance. Why couldn't we get it in the last book? I guess so this one could exist. By 100% in, 100 pages in, someone already got theirs. I'm not mad about it. So far so good. Anything else I want to go? No, just that. Just saying, so far I'm enjoying it, so I'm hoping that continues. Hello, I am 398 pages into Valor, so I'm like really good chunk. Like yesterday, I was less than half. Like I was like, where was I? Yeah, I was like here. So we've made progress. I have 2 days. No, I have today, tomorrow, and the day after to finish, so hopefully I can. I am really enjoying it way more than I did book 3, but we're just starting, we just reunited, and we're just starting to figure out how to beat this enormous army that's so much bigger than us, and I feel like I need a bit more than that to convince me. There's just like such big chunks of the book and they're not even concerned with it. It's just like, how are you gonna solve this? I don't know how you're gonna solve it. Oh my god, my head. I almost have no faith. A little bit of faith, but not much. Well, I finished Wrath, so that's pretty much closing this video up. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I still would say Malice was my favorite, but Wrath picked up significantly after the disaster of book 3. And it was really good. I would still really recommend this series. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I keep saying the same things, but this book was very good. The series overall was really good. If you're into it, if you're into high fantasy, a lot of fight scenes, that kind of vibe, then I would check it out. If you're not, then maybe not. That's pretty much it from this video. I'm sorry the ending's so shitty. It's been a couple days. We had a very fun live show. We talked for like 2 hours. So check out that live show if you really want to know what's up. But I would say overall, strength of the series, the characters, the fight scenes were written well, but the con was that there were too many fight scenes. The plot itself, it was fine, but it was barely there. I'm not gonna lie. After all of that we went through, I still have a lot of answers. There was a lot of heartbreak though, and that's because the author can make you care about the main characters, so that's very important. If that's important to you, maybe you'll enjoy this book as well. We have already announced what our next book is gonna be. I'm gonna make a video for it, but just in case you want to know early, give you a little inside info since no one watches my vlogs, so it's just for you special people. Our next series we're reading is the Green Bone Saga by Vonda Lee. I'm very excited. I'm gonna do a spoiler video, I think, spoiler vlog for it. So if you're excited, follow our Twitter, join us. We start in February, so I'm very, very, very hyped for it, and I hope you are too. But thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope I didn't bore you to death. There's been a lot of ups and downs, so I've not looked at this footage since I've done it. I'm curious to edit it.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate your support. If you comment, like, and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. It really helps me out. But that's it for me, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!